In this week's show, the men and women of the Freeride World Tour go big in the French Alps for the third stop in Chamonix Mont Blanc. Swiss rider Nicolas Vignier talks about style and competition. The Freeride juniors tear it up. Frenchman Ludo Guiodia breaks down board preparation. And of course, we have all the best action from the skiers and snowboarders as they compete for the title of Freeride World Champion. The high alpine terrain around Chamonix is a renowned destination for the best freeriders and mountaineers from around the globe. Situated just the other side of the Mont Blanc Massif from Courmayeur, riders are offered a large array of steep, technical lines. This is yet another classic stop on the Freeride World Tour, and we were joined by the ski and snowboard division of the ladies after their break in Courmayeur. This year's venue for the Chamonix stop was moved to the backcountry above La Flégère Resort, where the riders will have one shot at the Aiguille-Pierre face. This area was last used in 2010 for the Freeride World Tour, roughly 600 meters from top to bottom. Locals refer to this aspect as Little Alaska. As usual, riders scout their lines and will have only one run to make their impression on the judges. Continued snowfall in the area meant great riding conditions on the Pierre face, and a window of sunshine beamed for the day of competition. The men's snowboard division was first to go, and with avalanche controls of the venue complete, they were ready to drop. American Sam Lubke, like many of the North Americans on this year's tour, is enjoying his competitive season in the Alps. Lubke went down in Revelstoke straight out of the gate and will have his work cut out for him on this third stop. Teletubbies! 2010 champion of the North Face Masters of Snowboarding, he was eager to demonstrate his ability in Chamonix, and his freestyle background would be a good match for the Aiguille-Pierre. Lubke redeemed himself with a fast and fluid run. One high-speed drop would earn him a decent score. He'd secure third place for the day in Chamonix. It's been a tough start to the season for three-time world champion Xavier Delarue of France. He was a no-show for the first stop in Revelstoke and only managed 7th in Courmayeur. Here in Chamonix, Delarue charged into his line but went down after a quick double. A frustrating finish for the French rider on the third stop of the tour. He'll have a lot of ground to cover in the remaining 3 events. Putain, mais c'est pas vrai, quoi. American Ralph Backstrom, a strong contender in 2012, seemed back on form after a confident win in Revelstoke, yet only managed 5th in Courmayeur on the last stop. A podium in Chamonix would give Backstrom the momentum he needs to lead the rankings. An original line choice and his trademark no-break style really showcased this rider's talent in Chamonix. And put him indeed on the podium with a second-place finish and 88 points from the judges, putting him in the lead of the men's snowboard rankings mid-season.
88, not bad.
Backstrom is gunning for current holder of the Golden Bib, France's Aurélia Routin, who nailed a big fast line at Courmayeur to take the win in the men's snowboard division. The pressure was on Routin and Chamonix to deliver once again, and the judges would watch every detail. Routin's line threaded the needle for a fast top section, then found a fresh cliff band rider's right side of the venue for a large double. Yet he found himself in the back seat coming into his landing and would be docked for control by the judges. A disappointing 30.67 would seal his fate in Chamonix. Fellow Frenchman and 2012 world champion Jonathan Charlet of France knew he had to lay down a solid run on home turf, especially after a disastrous finish at the first two events of the season. If he could keep his head in the game, he'd still have a chance in the overall rankings. Straight out of the gate, his motivation was clear. This young rider was on the warpath. Slaying one big powder hit after another, he demonstrated his prowess on familiar terrain, clearly enjoying himself all the way down. After a final backside 360, he slid into the finish a redeemed man. Charlet was once again atop the podium. First place in Chamonix with a fistful of points from the judges. BACKSTROM maintained second, and USA's Sammy Lubke took third. It was a beautiful day. I'm so happy to be here in Chamonix. I'm riding at home, which really warms my heart, being able to ride this face. It really makes my win all the more special. After a break at the last stop in Courmayeur, the ladies were perched once again at the start gate, ready to drop big, sunny, powdery lines for the judges. Germany's Aline Bach, 2010 Freeride world champion, was hungry for the big score. In Revelstoke, she had trouble laying down a fluid run, resulting in a poor finish. Bach would play her cards safe in Chamonix. Using the cautious approach, she stayed on her feet and played it smart. Just enough for third place and a podium.
Amazing turns.
Second place vice world champion in 2012, France's Margot Rosies was sure to enjoy the freestyle aspect of the PIERRE. Second place in Revelstoke was testament to her motivation this year. Here in Chamonix, Rosies exhibited her trademark meld of freestyle and big mountain riding, proving her all-round talent and drive in this year's tour. Rosies rose to the occasion in Chamonix, riding to yet another second-place finish, putting her atop the women's snowboard ranking list. Veteran North Face Masters competitor Laura Dewey had found the going rough in Revelstoke, finishing in 7th place. To add to her stress level, she rode in Chamonix using completely borrowed equipment after her bags were lost in transit. Just the same, Dewey would not be deterred and headed riders right. She linked several drops with solid riding, resulting in a solid 70-point score from the judges. Redemption was swift for the American. It was enough for first place. An elated Dewey climbed to the top of the podium with Rosies and Bach at her side.
It's kind of a dream come true to compete out here. I mean, I've been competing for, I don't know, 6-7 years in the United States, and always wanted to be on this tour once it began for the snowboarders, and I'm very honored and thankful to everyone who helped me get here, and I'm just so happy to be here and just to even ride in this beautiful valley. It's amazing.
Style is really important. If you don't have style, you just have performance. I don't consider myself an athlete. I think skiing is something that's kind of special because it kind of mixes art and sport. Style, it just shows your personality and who you are, and that's a great way to show this. Coming from where I live, I'm surrounded by big mountains, and I think freeriding is also, it's always this thing you have in the back of your head that someday you're gonna do it. And yeah, I had the chance to be in the World Tour, which is the biggest competition in freeride. For me, skiing is about everything and not just one side of it. Doing tricks of natural terrain and nothing shaped. I'm not just a freestyle skier or a big mountain. I try to be both.
A cornerstone of the Freeride World Tour is centered around developing young riders on ski and snowboard, instilling them with safety awareness and teaching them to respect the environments in which they ride. They're taught techniques for avalanche rescue in the backcountry, using their shovels, transceivers, and probes to quickly locate and uncover fellow riders caught in an avalanche. But just like in the big leagues, these riders go all out at competition time to impress the judges for the junior title in both snowboard and ski categories. Brit and local Chamonix resident Max THIDLING secured first in junior men's snowboard. Confident and solid all-around riding from THIDLING set the bar in Chamonix. With a style resembling that of his professional peers, Pierre COLONGE of France confidently took the junior men's ski category. For many of these young athletes, it's a dream come true and perhaps the beginning of a career that may one day see them climb the Freeride World Tour podium. The junior division is also open to young ladies who take every opportunity to showcase their abilities. Board and ski preparation can play a major factor in competition at this level. It's about speed, precision, and safety.
Hi,
my name is Ludo Guiodia. I come from Villard-de-Lans. I'm a freerider on the Freeride World Tour on snowboard, and today I'm going to explain how to prepare boards before a competition. After a long career in board across, where we spent hours and hours of board preparation, this was a very, very, very important aspect of the sport. I kept these habits, and I like it when the boards are well prepared. So before each challenge, I have the habit of preparing my board correctly. I think it's a way to liberate myself mentally. We know the gear is ready and verified, and at least we can be assured it's solid. So the first thing I begin with when I do a board are the edges. We remove the scratches that the board gets as a result of the rocks in the mountain. Then we sharpen so that the board edges well on the ice. To fill a hole, we are going to use a stick of P-Tex, and we melt this into all the holes, and we let this harden. Then we scrape to remove the excess, and then we have a finish like when it was new. So in the third step, we're going to take care of the wax. For this, we need two things, an iron and some hot wax. We melt the wax with the edge of the iron on the board, and then we start spreading the wax with heat, so it becomes a liquid. Then we leave it for 2 to 5 hours, long enough for it to soak into the board well, and then we'll scrape again with the help of a plastic scraper to remove the surplus of wax that has not entered the base. So the last thing I do is more of a ritual than the other things. I check the bindings, I tighten up the screws, I see if everything is in place one more time mentally. It's good to be sure if the material is okay. Then we're ready to go. Back to competition action again in the women's ski division in Chamonix. After Revelstoke, Swede Christine Hargen, reigning world champion, was poised at the top of the rankings, but she had some strong European competitors hot on her heels. Norwegian Pia Nick Gundersen just missed the podium in Revelstoke with a 4th place finish. True to form, she took a fall line approach straight out of the gate, proving she's not afraid of the steep technical lines. She finished off her run with a cliff drop at speed. It would be enough to seal the deal for Gundersen, who came away from Chamonix with a 70.67 points and third place.
I'm really excited that I finally made a podium, and I'm really excited that it's in Chamonix because I have a lot of friends down here at the moment, and I didn't want to disappoint them, so really, really happy.
Austrian skier Lorraine Huber stepped up her game in Chamonix. She opted for the rider's ride of the venue, eventually finding plenty of fresh snow in her line. Huber, also known for her agility in the steeps, laid down a respectable run, but few hits would keep her from the podium. She finished in fourth place. Fellow Austrian Nadine Wallner made second place in Revelstoke, showcasing her big mountain skills and skiing strong to the podium with a solid run. Here in Chamonix, she stuck to the traveled section of the venue towards the top and launched some healthy airs. Wallner then scoped and dropped a nice technical cliff. Good execution and another second place finish for Wallner. So at the moment I'm in second place. Of course I'm really happy about it because the snow was so good. My line was good and it would be cool if I did stay in second place. Current world champion Christine Hargen of Sweden seems almost untouchable on this year's tour as well, after exhibiting great control and line choice in Revelstoke and taking home the win. It's anyone's game, of course, but it's also lonely at the top. A win here for Hargen would put her well in the lead in the Freeride World Tour rankings this season. And that's just what we've come to expect from this powerful Swedish freerider. Large, confident, and fluid lines linking big features at speed. She pulled it off once again in Chamonix. Christine Hargen took home her second victory of the season, distancing herself from the rest of the pack in the rankings.
It's just 2 contests out of 5, so a lot can happen until the end, but of course it's a good start and it's a good thing for me.
Over in the men's ski division and well into the competitive season, it's the Tabke Heights and Etter show after 2 stops. Lots of fresh talent from the North American Free Ski Tour will keep them on their guard here in Chamonix, though, especially with the playful side of the Guy-Paris face. Coming off a big win at home in Cormier is the Italian skier Marcus Etter. This young talent is certainly one to watch the remainder of the tour. Eager to repeat his victory from Cormier, Etter's line took him straight down the central section. He set up and launched a big left side 360 only to go over the bars on his landing. Etter skied rocketed down the face after his crash, as did his chances for a podium finish in Chamonix. REINE Barkered of Sweden is a classic big line skier at the top of his game after last season. This reigning world champion has a slow start in 2013, but is gaining momentum, as a third place in Cormier would testify. Barkered headed deep right at speed, launching into his first drop and keeping his riding strong and fluid. Throwing one of the biggest drops of the day, Barkered stomped his landing. Solid skiing from Barkered, but it would not be enough for a podium. The Freeride dogs were at his heels. He finished in 4th position.
You know, we're halfway through the tour. I can't believe it. It felt like yesterday I was sitting, oh, there's a long season ahead of us. Now we're here, halfway through. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. We have some people who have really good spots, but I usually sneak up from behind in the end and just stab everyone in the back in Verbier.
Rookie on the Freeride World Tour this season is Swede Ville Lindberg. He's well known in Scandinavia as three-time Big Mountain champion, and he's been busy gunning for the title of Freeride World Champion this year. Lindberg looked strong on the PIERRE face in Chamonix, consistent speed and strong skiing. Following in BARKERED's tracks, he launched the same cliff, rocketing out of his landing. He finished his run with a tight couloir drop and charged to the finish. This spectacle of fine freeriding put Lindberg in a deserved third place and left his mark in this field of world-class talent. For the younger freeriders on the tour, the goal is to give it everything they've got. One such talent is young gun Fabio Studer of Austria. Studer is well known throughout Europe as a top freestyler. He proved his worth in Cormier with some big lines, and if he steps up his big mountain game this season, he'll be a real contender.
Yeah, Fabio! Woo!
Playful throughout the top section of the PIERRE, Studer set out for a changing of the guard. He headed to the same pocket as Lindberg and BARKERED before, but instead spun a right side cork 360, definitely a cut above a straight air in the judge's eyes. But that wasn't all from Studer. He just kept blowing away the Swede's scores with a big left-hand 720 spin into the big couloir. Absolutely nailed the landing. Two more small drops would finish Studer's run, and although not a perfectly fluid or stomped run, the young Austrian sailed into the finish with a solid 87 points and second place, earning his first podium finish on the tour. I chose a line that, if I completed it, would put me out in front. My highlight on the line was for sure the corks. I spun to the right and then to the left. I landed my cork double spin and went over a bit to the left, but at the end everything worked out just fine. Only one rider could take the victory from Studer, and he certainly was poised to do so. Drew Tabke from the USA. With a win in Revelstoke, Tabke started the season on strong feet. Out of the gate in Chamonix, Tabke would opt for rider's left, heading for fresh tracks. Starting off with a big cornice drop, Tabke opened up the throttle for a big cruisy run. He skirted the bigger drops, but his line sent him flying off a spine transfer, nailing the landing. And eventually into a floaty left side 360 towards the bottom of the powder field. Certainly not the most technical run we've seen from Tabke, but he racked up points for speed and style. He secured 91.67 points for his stylish speed run. This marked his second win out of 3 stops yet this year on the Freeride World Tour. So men's ski results in Chamonix, Tabke takes the win with Studer and Lindberg in second and third. Tabke is now well in front as a ranking tour leader.
I won today, and it's incredible. I got a victory in Revelstoke and a victory here, so my best year ever so far, and we still got 3 stops left to go.
Over to the news now, where Freeride World Tour competitor Sam Smoothie of New Zealand has been laying down some epic lines for Paddy Graham and the rest of the Legs of Steel crew. Their recently released movie premiere of Hurt So Good showcases Smoothie and numerous international riders, styling for the camera in one destination after another. Rooted in rock and roll, powder riding, and freestyle, the LOS crew is bound to make a hit on the film scene. You can also catch Paddy riding for Team Europe in the upcoming Skiers Cup to be held in Zermatt. This young British lad has blasted onto the international scene and is making some serious waves. As the Freeride World Tour takes a mid-season break, we turn next to Zermatt for the special edition of the Swatch Skiers Cup, pitting the best from Americas and Europe in a team competition of head-to-head heats. Tied 1-1, who will break the tie?